Dear Arcturians, I spent last night collecting data about you from the internet. Some of it I have never heard, and other information gave me a great validation that I really am in communication with you. I never knew that Edgar Cayce channeled you. How very interesting. I will have to find his messages from you to enhance my understanding of the best way to allow my third dimensional self to step aside, to allow my fifth dimensional self to receive and translate your message in a manner that myself and others can best understand and make use of your wonderful communications. Is there something that you wish to share with me today? The Arcturians speak. Dear Suzanne, we are always joyous to share information with you. We realize that your mind is wondering, how does an Arcturian feel emotions? First, we add that we do not use the term of an Arcturian, as we perceive ourselves as components of a greater collective. It is this collective perception of ourselves, others, and all versions of reality that humanity will blend into its now for those who are on the verge of transmuting into their fifth dimensional light bodies. You are beloved Arcturian children wearing earth vessels, as well as our expanded galactic family, for example, the Palladians, Syrians, and Antarians. Our closest family are, of course, the Palladians, the Syrians, and the Antarians, and of course, our brave family who has taken a third, fourth dimensional earth vessel on the ascending body of our beloved Gaia. Yes, all of us galactics have been guiding, assisting, and protecting our beloved friend Gaia, planet Earth. It is for this reason that you, Suzelle, and other of our volunteers to take on an Earth vessel to assist Gaia with the immense cleanup job that must be completed before she is free to release the shackles of her third-dimensional time and space and begin her return to her true multidimensional planetary self. We thank all the many humans who have remembered their true multidimensional self and have volunteered to remain limited to a third-dimensional form until Gaia has been cleansed of all the third-dimensional harms and limitations. We will first talk about Gaia's third-dimensional harm. As you are all well aware, humanity has slowly risen and primarily is in the beginning of the process of going in to every third-dimensional incarnation they have ever had in any embodiment on Earth, so that they can transmute all the effluvia they have ever left on Gaia in any of her incarnations. Please note we said her, Gaia's incarnations, rather than humanity's incarnations. Suzille was also surprised by the quote-unquote mistakes she made in transcribing our message. However, as is usually true, a mistake is a third-dimensional term and not possible in the fourth dimension, fifth dimension, and beyond. Therefore, please remind yourselves that many third-dimensional mistakes are actually a misperception or confusion of a higher dimensional message. You see, third and fourth dimensional humans do make mistakes, but a fifth dimensional and beyond being is aware that a mistake in the third dimension is usually an opportunity to see and understand the components of their 3D life that is now up for transmutation. What we mean by up for transmutation means that you, the members of humanity on beloved Gaia, are ready to expand the frequency rate of any component of your present third and fourth dimensional reality. The problem is that humans tend to ignore their mistakes. If they attend to the mistakes, then they are concerned that they will likely judge themselves, or worse yet, become the victim to someone else that made them do it. As long as any of our dear ascending ones ever blame another person or an external event or situation for their mistake, their consciousness will plummet into the lower octaves of their third and or fourth dimensional selves. If you are brave volunteers to take an earth vessel, put power into an external person, place, or thing, you will have created a huge gap between your third, fourth dimensional earth vessel and your fifth dimensional and beyond multidimensional self. We understand that what we have just shared may seem impossible to many humans. However, we remind you that we only attend to the versions of you that have awakened and are ready to serve. Would a college look at first graders as a possible student for their master's program? We are now addressing this message to those of you who are taking the course of ascension into the fifth dimension and beyond. We have other messages that we address to the newly awakened ones, as well as to the ones who are lost to the truth of what is actually occurring within their own multidimensional self, in their talents as well as their multiple realities. Therefore, we have entitled this channel as a message to the ascending ones. Please do not think that we have judged those who are not yet ready for this information. The purpose of this message is to assist the ascending ones to assist others as a process of their personal ascension. Beloved ones, it is the now in which the cosmic energies are building and growing into higher and higher frequencies. You see, in order to receive a message from your higher dimensional family, you will need to match the frequency of your consciousness with the frequency of their message. Just as you cannot see that which resonates to a frequency of light beyond the ability of your eyes to perceive, you cannot receive and understand a higher dimensional message that resonates beyond the frequency of your high heart and third eye. Expanding the frequency of your perceptions is much like building a stronger earth vessel. You will begin by lifting weights of a lower weight, as eventually you will lift heavier and heavier weights. In the same manner, you may begin with communications of a past life, and as you expand your consciousness, you may be able to follow the evolution of life into your fourth dimensional past life situations. Then, over time and practice, you will be able to follow the evolution of that incarnation into the fifth dimension or back into the third dimension to experience another third dimensional earth lifetime. As one expands their minds to embrace the concepts of reincarnation, they can eventually expand their consciousness to embrace the concept of where were you in between these incarnations. It is at this point that our grounded ones can begin to embrace the concept that they are not just human. For those of you who have been awakened in this manner for many incarnations, it is known that you are a multidimensional being. However, there are still millions of our representatives to Gaia who are only aware of the present and only aware of their incarnation that they are having on earth within this now. Dear awakened leaders, the people will be very frightened by our landings and think that we have come to take them over. However, on the contrary, we are landing to assist them to take over the responsibility of their own planet's evolution. You have remembered that you are us. As more and more of humanity remember that they are multidimensional and that they are also components of what they would call us. What we call us is all of the fifth dimensional and beyond beings. Those of you who have remembered that you are us will be of great assistance during the time of our landing. We will need you to prepare, educate, and assist the other humans who have not yet remembered their own multidimensional self. We will also need our fully awakened volunteers to Earth to calm the fear with unconditional loving expectations and kind support. For you, the ones to whom we are speaking, our landing will be a wonderful and long-awaited event. On the other hand, there will be many others who are still frightened by the possibility of a higher form of life entering their daily reality. Those who have had loving and generous families and mentors will be more able to accept the feeling of a loving family member. However, those who have had violent and or abusive lifetimes will look at all beings as appearing to be better than them. Therefore, they will look at our arrival as a dangerous and threatening event. It is for this reason that we have directed Suzanne to write her Palladian Perspective of Reality books, as well as the journal which talks about a normal family awakening to an interdimensional life. We have recently directed our scribe to write her latest book, Preparing for First Contact, to assist humanity for our upcoming visit to Gaia's Earth. Suzanne has also scribed 2 picture books, one which is soon to be published. These picture books were channeled through her from us as a means to prepare humanity for communicating via light language. We will be speaking a great deal about light language and light body in our upcoming online communications with our ascending ones. We believe that we have given you more than enough information for this now. However, please know and remember that what we have spoken of in this transmission amounts to a drop of water in the Atlantic Ocean of all the wondrous things that we have to share with all of you. Fortunately, you will not need to learn. Instead, all you will need to do is to remember. We, your galactic family, are so very pleased with your many contributions to the continued evolution and awakening of Gaia and all her inhabitants. We are your Arcturian family. Thanksgiving and blessings to you all, for you have contributed much more than you may even begin to believe. We will return. In fact, we will never leave.